Evening or afternoon, depending on where you are. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about two evil violins. Alright, so the first evil violin is my 1713 Stradivari. Is this the real Stradivarius? Well, it's a Czechoslovakian copy, but is it? Maybe it's the real thing, who knows? But anyway, I did a video on the story of it. Somebody had sent me an email. And this is my first evil violin. Imagine a man getting an evil violin. Like, what do you do when you get an evil violin? What do you do? I don't know. Uncharted territory. But can you imagine a man getting possibly two evil violins? Well, anyway, I'll show you my second. And that second is possibly my lion head violin. Could possibly be the devil's violin. Alright, so I gotta have another story. I got two unique violins here. If you haven't heard about the 1713 Stradivari, I have a video on on this channel, my Professional Canadian Beaver Walker channel, telling you all about how evil this violin, the evil 1713 Stradivarius. This is a Czechoslovakian copy, so obviously that would be pre-1954, 1956, before it became Czech Republic. And this one is an unknown, maybe for a reason, but the devil was recorded to, well, not recorded, but said to have played a hop violin, which this could be either a Jacob Steiner, a Hornsteiner, a Prokop, or a hop violin, but it doesn't say hop on the back of it, so apparently that was the devil's fiddle, was a hop violin, and it was a lion head violin, much like this one. And somebody had sent me a kind of a story of how it may be the fiddle in Norway is the devil's violin, possibly the devil's violin. It's cursed. But then again, maybe that's an imposter and the real one got away, and who knows where it may have ended up. Anyway, very interesting stuff. So two of my unique violins that I have, and I got this one for 75 bucks, people. 75 bucks. And it's a great little violin. I do got to put good strings on it. I do got to learn how to play. But this is the best playing violin I've ever played in my life. And I've played violins that were like thousands and thousands of dollars just to try them. But this one fits my hand. It's not the best sounding violin. The guy behind, you know, some could say it's the guy playing. I don't buy that for a second. But I do like it. It is a very interesting little instrument. I can reach everywhere on it. I play it well. It just, this one is so natural to me. So when I go searching for the violin, whenever I get, you know, I'm always complaining about my finances like everybody. Yeah. Yeah, cry me a river, right? Yeah, I get it. But anyway, the idea is simple. That this is a violin I will take with me, and I'll use it as a comparison. Okay, I'll pick up one off the wall, I'll play this one, then I'll pick up and I'll play the same thing on that one. And say, oh, well, that one's easier to play than this one. That one sounds better than this one, okay, but it doesn't play as well. And it's always trade-off. The second best playing violin I've ever picked up in my life was this one. This is also the third violin I've ever bought in my life. Fourth. I have a violin problem because I've had like 8 violins in my life. So about 10 or so years ago, I picked up a Cornelli 3/4 violin, and like 50 bucks, brand new case now. Horrible violin. You couldn't tune it. You couldn't. It was like a, you know, box store or music store type thing. And then I picked up a full scale one, and I think that one was a little more expensive, like 65 bucks at the time. It was semi-playable, but it wouldn't hold tuning. And then I bought my electric violin, my Cremona 180, and then after that I picked up this, because I just said, you know, I like the electric violin, but, you know, it serves a purpose, but I'm also, wait a minute, nothing like the real thing. And then I saw this thing, aside another one that was, again, this one came from, it's German made, but it was picked up in the Czech Republic and then brought over here to Canada. And there was two of them. There was this one and the other one. The other one was a little bit less fancy, but it was more expensive. But I found this one played... The other one sounded better, but this one played better. But this one sounds good, and at the time it had really cheap strings on it. This one, I've now got Lorenzen Virtuoso strings on. I've had it on, I guess, for a year now. I like these strings; they're good. But I wanted this violin to sound really dark, like Ghost in the Steam Train, Ghost in the Ship kind of steam train sound, like really, really, really rustically old and dark and dreary. And it does that. And this thing, look at the waistline on this girl. She's pretty slim, isn't she? She's a very pretty girl. Look at this girl. This girl is very plump. This girl has a lot. It's not the loudest violin. It's definitely getting louder after about a year playing. I guess that's all the dust and everything over the years. I mean, this thing could possibly be up to 200 years old. You know, so I don't know what you're going to be like if you make it to 200 years old, but you're probably going to be a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow at first. You know, it's going to take you a little longer to get up in the mornings, you know what I'm saying? But this one, the more I play it, the more sound comes out of it. And at first it used to be really, like, this was so quiet when I first played it. It made it was it was the quietest. This one is the sound is starting to come out of it now. It's like about almost a year on. Yeah, this is a good violin. It holds tuning very well. This one holds tuning okay, but I can only tune this one up because of I explained in another video that the E peg it's just starting to wear out, so that it just will not go up to full pitch. So I'm about 2 steps low on this, which kind of sucks. But it also gives it a darker sound, right? So this, like I say, could be a Prokop violin. It could, which would make a Czechoslovakian. It could be a Hop violin. It could be a Steiner. It could be a Hornsteiner. It could be a tribute violin. It could be a knockoff, right? But all I know is it is old, and it is a pretty interesting piece of equipment. Now, if it's the Devil's violin, well, if he wants it back, he's going to have to pay me big time, because I like it. No, you can't have it, Mr. Devil. And if this one's cursed, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give this one to the devil. Okay, so he'll get cursed. I get to keep the violin. I'm happy. He likes misery, so he'll be happy. Yeah. Yeah, that's just, yeah, we'll see where it goes, right? But yeah, so even though this is a replica violin, it is interesting. It has an interesting story behind it. Of that type of thing. This one, the mystery behind it is the story behind this one. Plus, it's a lion head violin. Like, how cool is that? Plus, it's a very beautiful piece of machinery. Like, it's just subtle and simple. You know, just kind of awe-inspiring. If there was a fiddle contest show, I would definitely enter this one. It is missing the tongue from the lion head. Most of them are. It still has the hole there. I might make one at some point. I don't plan to sell this one. This one I think is my nephew's grandkids are going to say that came from my great uncle, and he was cool because he stole it from the devil, and the devil didn't know. Now, if you steal something from the devil, is that still considered a sin? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not planning anything. But I'm just saying. But yeah, there we go. So the tale of the 2 evil violins. Nice little story. If you have a story about your violin that you think is special and unique, post it down below. Love to hear the stories. If you think you know where this violin actually came from, love to hear your story too. If you have one like it, what does the label say inside? Because I'm very, very curious. Some people say, somebody told me said that was probably made for an orchestra in Germany as well, saying that it was a fiddle factory that used to pop these things out left, right, and center about 100 years ago. And they were very, very common. So I don't know how common these things are. I imagine they're fairly common, but you don't see them every day. You don't see a lion head violin every day. But there we go. So have yourselves a great day, eh?